This is called alignment or stitching. So stitching and alignment means marrying these two files together, because we've talked two files we got to have, an STL from the scanner and a DICOM from the printer. How do we make these things marry together? We call that alignment or stitching. So stitching is really taking an STL, matching up with a DICOM, because when they overlay together, that's where the magic happens, where we can plan teeth, we can plan implants, we can plan all these things together. So we have to get that alignment correctly. If we brought these two files into Blue Sky Plan and they were stitched off like this, the entire process is done, right? So this is a super critical part of this whole thing, because if the alignment isn't correct, you're not going to be able to get the benefits of the guide. And actually, the guide is going to take you in the wrong direction, right? If you plan it here and you build your guide here and the bone's over here, your implant's not in the right position. So we have to be able to understand how to align the two together and to ensure that the alignment was done correctly, because the software, 90% of the time, aligns it for us automatically just with the software's intelligence. But we still have to verify, because you can't just expect, oh, the software got it perfect. You have to be able to know how to look at it and realize that they were aligned right. I'm good to go. Let's move on to the next step. So we're going to be doing that today. We want to aim for automatic. That's the 90% of the time. 90% of the time when you drop these two files into Blue Sky, you don't have to think about it. It's going to say auto-aligning. It's going to auto-align it correctly. And what are the 10% of the times when it doesn't? It's the scatter cases. So that's what we talked about before. The patient has 28 zirconia crowns in there, and they're scatter shooting off the CBCT, and we've lost all the tooth in the references. When we drop them into Blue Sky, they're going to give you an incorrect alignment potentially. So 90% of the time, it's auto-aligned. We have to verify if our scan was poor, or the STL came out wrong, or there was movement in the patient when they were taking the CBCT. Don't just keep going. Stop, be predictable, rescan the patient, do it correctly if you want to continue.
Don't be afraid to call them to come back. You can't use the scan where if it takes you 45 minutes to stitch the scans and there's still an aspect that's wrong and you're going for high predictability, we would call patients back before.
Yeah.
Come back in, we'll make you a scan appliance, so we need to do something else with the scan, so they appreciate it usually.
Yep.
It's not a big deal.
Yep. So your first cases, shoot for the predictable cases, avoid ton of metal and a ton of zirconia. Identify that. Don't try to plan a guide on somebody, your first case, where there's zirconia everywhere. That's not a good first case, because you want it to be automatic. And when there's not a ton of zirconia and there's a lot of teeth in there that are natural teeth, it'll automatically scan it and it'll work well. Aligning with points, we will get to that more in the advanced areas. But essentially, this is one of the panels over in Blue Sky, and it's all under the category of alignment. And really, it gives us 9 different options of ways to align a CBCT to a model, or a model to another model for that nature. This is the default one that is going to just automatically happen when you drop the two files into the software. It's going to run an automatic alignment, and they're just going to line up 90% of the time. The more manual and points, that's when you have to get hands-on to that alignment process for those more difficult cases.